Yeah, can't be. What's going on, guys? Your boy Poppy Johnson. Welcome back to another episode of My Salsa, Please. I hope y'all like that. Do I like that? Anyway, in the first episode, I talked about of who I am, where I come from, where I reside at. I want to keep this consistent. I want to do this thing. I really want to do my thing with this, right? But in this episode, right, we're gonna talk a little bit more about what got me into music. What really put me to that thing where it's just like, I'm gonna go bar for bar with everybody. I'm gonna write down these things. I'm gonna hit them with the do. You know what I'm saying? But let's just get right into it. Why not? Let's starting off again. Like I told you guys in the first episode, I am an artist, songwriter, rapper. I dabble with the little melodies here and there. I do have music out on all platforms. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. I'll leave my fan link in the description so you guys can click on that and go check it out. But I do have music out. A lot of people say I sound like Drake. Some people say I sound like Childish Gambino. Some people say I sound like Logic. At the end of the day, I get a lot of more comparisons to Drake, but it's because of my voice. I can't change my voice. It's just something about my voice, my flow, my cadence, everything. It's something that I can't change, right? Some people would say I'm like the Hallmark Drake or the Good and Gather Drake. I'm a bootleg Drake for some reason to people, but it is what it is. What kind of got me into music, right? So here's a fun fact, right? And this is something that I've never shared with nobody, and this will be the first time that I ever share this, right? The first time I ever even got into music, right? First time I even wrote a song. I still remember this, and maybe my sister can vouch for this if she watches this video, right? So the first time I actually wrote a song was with my Tio Ulises, my sister, and myself. We were in the kitchen. We were writing a song. I don't know what the song was about. Don't remember. But I know I was writing in English. I remember that. My sister was writing in Spanish. And but that was the first time we ever wrote a song. And this was like probably, I would say I was around like 10 years old, somewhere around there. So I would say that's probably like the first time I ever wrote a song. Do I remember what's on that song? Nope. But I do remember that moment because that moment was detrimental, right? That moment kind of like sparked the fire in me to want to create records, right? Now, obviously, when it came to the music, my sister was the first person to do it, right? My sister loves to sing. She's a great singer. She inspired me to want to do this music thing. So because of her, and she started pursuing music career, started doing the whole reggaeton thing, Spanish music, and it was fruitful. She was doing great. She was connecting with the right people. And me, on the other hand, I still haven't gotten into it, but once I did, right, I started writing my raps. I started practicing. The first song, the first rap record I ever heard, right, that kind of got me into the vibes and kind of just made me fall in love with what hip hop is, right, was My Name Is by Eminem, right? Now, obviously, you might say there's a lot of hate on Eminem as of lately and whatever, but to me, Eminem is the GOAT, right? But that's to me, right? But what helped me get into hip hop was Eminem, right? And then from there, it was Biggie, then Ludacris, then Nelly, Hove. So I was a big fan of Dipset, a G Unit, 50 Cent. It was a trickle effect, right? It was a trickle down effect. Then I just fell in love with what hip hop was, the culture, the dancing of everything that had to do with hip hop, right? Graffiti. It just became a part of my life. So while I was in high school, I started writing songs, and I just try to perfect my craft, right? And around that time, I was very, very heavily inspired by Big Pun, Eminem, and Joe Budden. And, just trying to, I wanted to be about bars, right? Everything was about bars for me. If you did not have any bars, punchlines, metaphors, anything like that, you were not a rapper to me. But to me, that was the only way you kind of distinguish yourself from everybody else. Recorded my first record at Andrew's house. Shout out to Andrew. If you guys need a record mixed and mastered or whatever the case may be, hit up my boy Drew. I'll leave his at the bottom. But that was the first time we ever recorded a record, right? And the first record we ever recorded, if I'm correct, I was nervous. I was like shaking in the booth. It was an experience, right? And I still remember the first time. And I remember Drew telling me, he's like, dude, relax, just breathe, calm down, and just do your thing. It's you got this. And ever since I recorded my first record, it's just been up from there, right? Then I took a small hiatus because I had to go to Mexico to get my papers, and then when I came back, and I was working with this kid who we started something, right? And we recorded. I came back with a vengeance. I was writing while I was in Mexico. Just around this time, Drake started coming up, right? I was starting to get heavily influenced by Drake. By then, by the time I came back from Mexico and started writing, it just became like this trickle effect, right? And then I started putting out mixtapes. Then I started putting out singles with my team, and then we started creating a bigger team, and then it just became like this thing, right? Where we thought it was gonna be more than just rapping in the basement, right? And unfortunately, a few years later, we disbanded. It all went to mierda, I guess you could kind of say, and it was what it was. And unfortunately, me and the kid, we don't really talk anymore. It is what it is. I do wish him the best. I hope he's doing well. But to me personally, I wanted to keep pushing the music. I may be naive, but I do it because I love it. If something sticks, it'll stick. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, and I'll just keep doing me, right? But I did end up doing my own thing, called OCNI, which is a play on words with all CNI. I was very heavy into like the Egyptian kings, gods thing around that time, and I was very heavily influenced by Kanye. And then after that, it just kind of became something. I started pushing myself as a brand. Around that time, I was under the moniker of Unique. There was too many Uniques out there, and everybody I kept telling I have to change my name, they wouldn't get it. And it's not because I didn't want to, but it was just like there's too many Uniques. Who in the hell is gonna search? If they search me up, how are they gonna find me? But I ended up doing a name change, and it all happened while I was in the studio, and it just kind of stuck. I was using my now artist name, Papi Johnson. It was supposed to be like an alter ego, because again, like I told y'all, my favorite rapper is Eminem, and you have Eminem, Marshall, and Slim Shady. So I was trying to create this alter ego of who I was. After a while, the alter ego is just stuck, and it just started sounding better. And it all happened by accident because we were in the studio recording, and around that time, OG Bobby Johnson, that record came out, and then we were just messing around the studio, and it was just like, oh, you OG Poppy Johnson, and then that's where it stuck. It clicked in my head. I was like, that's me. That's the me that I can't be, if that makes sense. The guy who can speak his mind, just talk his talk, and just do what he got to do, get the bars out there. And then once I kind of stuck with the name, then the branding of OCNI kind of just started to take a full effect. And after that, it was just up from there. I had a good amount of people on the team, but everybody wanted to be the star. That was the problem. Everybody wanted to be the star. Nobody wanted to just push one person and have everybody sit in the back and just, play the bigger picture of pushing one artist. And then, that disbanded as well. And then I remember my now partner, my homie, my brother, Era, he hit me on Twitter talking about, yo, I have a record for you, let's work. And then ever since then, it's just been history. And, shout out to Era. If you guys need mixing and mastering, hit him up too. His tag will be at the bottom. And then he had something that he had created, and that, I just felt like I was the missing piece to it. And then from there, we just kind of been creating and just doing what we have to do, right? It's been years. We are where we are now. Have we had accomplishments? Of course. From heading to go see Drewski, to having our song played in Japan, to having our records played on the radio, just little things like that, where it's been a very pivotal moment in my life where I can say that with Era, I've accomplished the most, and I am very thankful for him as my brother. But all in all, we still rocking, and again, that's just how this music thing came to be. And again, if you're a younger artist, don't be naive to the stuff that a lot of people are going to say, right? There's going to be vultures out there who are going to want to take advantage of you, take your money. There's vultures out there who are going to say, oh, you're fire, you got this, and then just take advantage. Just watch out for those. Watch out for the ones who are just there to eat off of you, right? Not everybody is your friend, especially not in this music business, right? Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody has good intentions for you. Not everybody is gonna rock out with you. You're gonna get a lot of no's. People are gonna say your music is trash. They're gonna say you're trash. They're gonna say why you're doing music, right? But we're in a digital era where you just have to post something and you never know, it could go viral. During my run, it was a little bit harder. You had to go out there and pass out mixtapes. You had to go out there and actually go to the clubs, pass it out to the DJ, see if the DJ play a record, da da da. But the great thing about being a 90s baby is being able to transition from that to the digital era and then trying to adjust, right? But all in all, to all my younger artists out there, don't be naive. To all my young producers, find an artist who you really rock with and just rock with them. And you guys create something, create a sound, create something where you guys just out of here, hold each other down, invest in a studio, home studio. It doesn't even have to be an expensive thing. Because and at the end of the day, you could just end up paying for like mixing and mastering, right? But don't put yourself in a box. Go out there and get it, right? We're in the digital era. Everything is online. Anything could go viral. You set a trend, whatever the case may be, right? But make sure that when you're doing all this stuff, you create your brand correctly. You make sure that everything that you do stands for something, and don't let people take advantage of you, because this music game is filthy. People are dirty. I'm telling you this from experience. People don't give a flying fuck about your feelings. And that's saying it with all due respectfully. So again, I am just an example of what you shouldn't do. I've made a lot of mistakes with this music shit. Era's there to vouch for me. Drew is there to vouch for me. I've made a lot of mistakes. But the one mistake I have not done is stop, right? I have not stopped. I keep doing me. I keep putting my music out. Not hoping to blow up, but hoping to get noticed, where who knows? I don't need to be the main artist, right? Maybe I can work behind the scenes, write for other people. That's always been another dream of mine, right? To write for other artists. But again, that's just a little bit of my music and who I am when it comes to the music. So just to give you guys my top five right now are Eminem, Hove, Drake, Lil Wayne, Big Pun. You can hate my top five all you want. I don't care. That's my top five. And M is my GOAT. But thank you for tuning in to another episode of More Salsa, please. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Make sure to hit the little bell at the bottom to keep yourself notified of any new stuff. New music will be dropping soon, and videos will be dropping soon. Also, don't forget to follow the podcast at Lucky View Podcast. And don't forget to follow the socials, which will all be on the bottom description. Again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, guys. And hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes I did doing this music thing. Papi Johnson, I'm out.